Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and another cook. Great to see you here. Ice cream man. Hello guys, welcome back to another cook. Great to see you here, and today we are doing lemon pepper chicken on the Weber Kettle. I know, the Weber Kettle is back. KJ is sitting on the sidelines today. So this one isn't overly complicated, but it's a really nice cook. Great flavours in there, mostly savoury flavours, so we're sort of steering away from those sort of sweet and spicy flavours of barbecue chicken. So for this one we are using whole chicken thighs. They're still skin on, bone in. You can use boneless if you want, you can remove the skin if you want, but we're doing it in a cast iron skillet to get a nice crispy skin on there. So we need to get this seasoned up in a little bit of a marinade first. Now, whenever you're working with chicken, always a good idea to put a glove on. So we're going in with a little bit of oil and a few seasonings into this, and we're going to try and let it sit for a little while just to absorb most of it in, but we're going to get that flavour from it cooking in the skillet mixed in with all those flavours, so don't need to let it marinate for too long. So this is just the rapeseed oil from Brighter Gold. It's not one of their flavoured oils, it's just the plain one. I have a few of the different ones, but we're adding all the flavours in with the seasonings. So this is just the regular rapeseed oil. So we'll go in with 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, just enough to coat all your chicken. And then we're going in with seasonings. So in here we have garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, dried rosemary and dried oregano. Again, all great savoury flavours that work with chicken. So we've got our oil in there. It's going to help really stick these seasonings to the chicken. I'm going to go in at the top first with a good sprinkling of it. And just give it all a mix around. And as we flip it around, we'll add more seasoning. You can turn them all up the other way. And the key is to try and get the seasoning evenly over all the chicken. And the last little bit on. Done. So the bowl isn't swimming with oil, it's just enough to coat the entire chicken and it'll help them seasonings really stick to it. We're going to stick this back into the fridge now for a little while we sort of get the barbecue set up. We'll let it sit for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, just to start really soaking in some of those flavours. Okay, chicken is in the fridge. Let's talk about barbecue setup. So we're cooking this in our skillet today. So we're going indirect. We want the skillet to get hot, but we don't want that searing heat from underneath it. So we're going to put this onto the barbecue to preheat. I have the kettle set up with around 3/4 of a chimney starter briquettes let into it. They're actually sitting in a V formation. This skillet is a 35cm skillet, just to give those chicken breasts enough room without them crammed too much together. So in order to make sure there's no direct heat underneath it, that V formation gives me the maximum indirect area to put this into. So we're going to put this on to preheat. The barbecue is sitting around 220 degrees, however the thermometer is directly over the coals, so that's probably a bit of a false reading. But anywhere in that sort of 200 to 225 range is fine. So we'll pop this on, get it preheating with a little bit of oil in it. Don't need an awful lot because we've already oiled the chicken, and then we're going to get the chicken into it skin side down to crisp up first. Okay, while our cast iron's coming up to temperature, we can talk about what else we need to put in. So we have 1 yellow pepper, 1 green pepper, and an onion. It's quite a small onion, but it's enough. So this is what's going to cook along with the chicken whenever it's going indirect. So all we need to do is go ahead, take the tops off these, clean them out and slice them up. So we're going with strips. You can dice them if you want, but I think cutting into strips are really going to help hold the chicken up off the bottom of that cast iron and stop it getting too much colour on the bottom. Yellow pepper done. Do our green one now. We won't waste that. Put it in. Again with the green pepper into slices. Okay, then the last thing is our onion. Leave the root end on. Down through the root. And And once again, just into larger rings. So that is what's going to go into the pan along with the chicken. We're also going to put in a little bit of lemon slices, where the lemon's coming from. Whenever we flip them over after we've grilled them the first time, we'll go on with a few slices of lemon. Okay, our cast iron should be up to temperature now, so we're going to go on with the chicken thighs skin side down, just to try and get a bit of colour on them. Just bring them through that oil, place them down. Just try and space them out evenly, give them their space to cook. We don't want to boil them. So we'll close the lid up, give that a few minutes, and then flip them over, see what they're like. Okay, the chicken has been bubbling away at that sort of low heat for about 5 minutes or so. You're not looking at a huge amount of colour on the bottom of these. It's really just start rendering out some of that fat. Might start getting a little bit of browning around the edges. I don't know if you can see that. So we're not going for like that charred colour on it. It's just to render out some of that fat underneath the skin. So we're just going to lift these off for a second to get our veggies in. So into the pan with our onions and our peppers, and just give those a mix around to coat them in that oil and all those sort of herbs and the garlic that is falling off the chicken. Spread everything out evenly across the bottom of the pan. That's going to act as a kind of trivet for the chicken to sit back onto. Back in with your chicken thighs skin side up this time. Another quick little seasoning of salt over the top. And onto each thigh with a slice of lemon. That last little bit of the lemon, just going to nestle it down in there flat onto the cast iron. Squeeze that over at the end. So that's us. Just cover it up now, let it roast until our chicken reaches around 82-83 degrees. Safe to eat at 75, but for chicken thighs I always take them a little bit higher. So we'll just close the lid up, let them cook away, and then we'll come back and have a taste. Chicken has been roasting in the skillet for about 40 minutes or so. Our internal temperatures have reached to be between 82 and 85 on all of them. Some of the smaller ones cooked a little bit quicker, but anywhere in that 80 range is fine for chicken thighs. We've got nice colour on the chicken. Again, it's not really that colour you would look for whenever you're grilling chicken. You're not going to get that sort of gnarly charred skin on it. You're going for a slightly different look. But they look great. We've used that lemon then, squeezed it over the top, just finish it off with a little bit of chopped parsley. So only one thing left to do, give it a taste. Lift this guy onto the board. Move a little bit of lemon, it has served its purpose. Cut a chunk off. Still lovely and juicy inside. That's what we like. Go. You know, everybody loves barbecue flavours on chicken. That really sweet, reddish looking chicken. But there's a lot to be said for this. Lovely savoury flavours in there, so juicy. And that skin as well. It's not your traditional crispy skin, but because we've done it slightly lower heat on the cast iron down, it's rendered out a lot of that fat underneath the skin. so it does bite away quite nice. Right amount of salt in there, just the right amount of citrus. I think some citrus recipes can go a bit overboard with the lemon, because we're cooking it down over the top. We're not actually like marinating it in the lemon. It's not too overpowering, it's just a little undertone there. That's some good chicken. So if you want to give it a go, as always, recipe is in the description. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.